Oh My Gold is what they called this one. It's basically a 57 reissue that they went a little bit crazy on. Got a lot of metal and glitter flake within this, and then you have a sprayed on, I guess you could almost say pinstriping job in a roundabout way, adding another layer to the binding. But speaking of the binding, it is still ultra ambered over in and of itself, so it adds to its whole gold effect outside of also having golden pickup covers, your bridge and tailpiece. Why not throw the witch hat knobs on there? They've got a gold and black theme going on, and then we've got a clear see-through pickguard with a really dark rosewood board. As far as the face of the headstock, you get the continuation of the black and gold theme with a completely blank truss rod cover in black screws, and that ambered over clear coat to make that Gibson logo appear darker. I was going to be disappointed if they didn't have a similar thing on the back, and they didn't disappoint, but they don't have the lacy pinstripey thing going on. It's just that really ambered over gold. That's one likely better appreciated in person because it's just gonna be dancing in the light, but it's being offered for $5,200. Welcome back, Troglodytes, to your daily dose of guitar information, the Trogly's Guitar Show. Doing the mod collection. This next one is called the Cosmic Silver Flake, and it appears to be based on a Gibson Les Paul Studio, but instead of the gold like we just saw, it's all silver, no pick guards or additional embellishments or binding on this. But pay close attention, you've got the chrome hardware and the silver witch hat knobs. This is one of the One studios, so we do have binding on the neck and just a regular Gibson silkscreen headstock. And we get the continuation of that complete silver finish on the back. That's a pretty fancy studio. Now, once again, when it looks like you have that in the light, that is gonna be blinding. But that one sold quick for $24. Next, we actually have a set of twins. This is known as the Tennessee Sunset 70s Explorer. Kind of a copperish orange color, but accented with the black and white appointments and a little bit of gold for your hardware and the pull pieces within the uncovered pickups. Historic style switch tip to match the finish. And then white binding on this model to help pop the plastics. Give it a matching headstock, new black Gibson silkscreen, and a white truss rod cover looking pretty fancy. With a completely sprayed over gloss design on the back, including your elongated backplate. Whoa, look at that stand, that's quite dusty. That one was available for $3,100. But I called it a twin because they also had a matching 70s Flying V in the same Tennessee Sunset, with very similar things going on here. White plastics, golden hardware, got to keep the pickup covers this time. Still have the binding going on for this model, historic style switch tip. I was expecting a different headstock. What is going on there? The 70s Flying V, even in the modern iteration, has this style truss rod cover. If we can believe that this actually is a 70s V, which everything else seems to line up, like binding on the neck, etc., they had to have filled in the existing holes, or this was a mistake product to begin with, and then doing the new finish on the headstock allowed them to put the Gibson logo and convert it over into a white truss rod cover. That's honestly really strange looking. But hey, we don't have any backplates to worry about this time, it's just that same gloss orange finish. However, this one proved unique enough to sell for $3,100. Next up, we've got a 50s Les Paul Standard in Pacific Perimeter. Maybe not the craziest thing that we've ever seen out of the mod collection. A nice ocean water finish, but they added a black border to it. Upgraded your knobs a little bit. Looks like it might have had to have been refretted, but the rest of the headstock looks similar. And then from the back, this actually appears to be a satin finish, so it's going to be a satin back gloss top situation. They put that one up for $3,200. This next 50 standard was called Baked Eggplant Parm. Maybe you're getting hungry, maybe not. It's mainly an orange hue with a very subtle border to it, lacking the pick guard but still having some decent flame figuring within the top, but not a lot. Super dark rosewood board. We asked the chef to hold the Les Paul model silkscreen and amber over the clear coat and give us a dark toasted satin back. The bill at the end of the meal was $29.99 plus tip, but apparently we dined and dashed because it's still available. And it was all about the 50 standards this week. This time it was the P90 version. They called it Phlox Top, in reference to a flowering plant in a variety of hues. So okay, this makes a lot more sense. It's just a nice purple and cream. Two different colors of cream going on here. Kind of your slightly more pink pickup covers and your washer, whereas your pick guard's a bit more striking. And then you've got the reflector knobs to complement your new kind of flat purple finish. That looks like it's going to be one of those high quality satins where it's not quite a full gloss, but it's not really cheap satin either. I'd say that actually looks pretty good from far away. They could do a small production run of those. We've got another naked headstock over here with just a natural satin back and sides. But if you were turned off by the $3,100 price tag, I at least have a little bit of bonus information here for you. You got a custom shop case upgrade, but this is just regular Gibson USA production. Now the EU mod collection. This Epiphone Casino is quite visually striking in Atlantic blue. You could either think crystal clear waters or some ice chunks in it, or maybe just light bubbles rising to the surface when you're in the ocean. That is a gorgeous finish. I like the way that the wood grain captures it. But they did a little bit of chrome black hardware mix matching here. So your thumb wheels are still chrome, whereas the bridge itself is black, but then we've got brass saddles on it. You've got your trapeze tailpiece. Nice, I like that. I don't think we've seen them mess around too much with Epiphone colored logos like that, so spraying it over in blue gives you that deep sea vibe. Speaking of, wow, are we sure that's the same guitar? Black back, natural neck, black tuner tips? I think we've gone too deep. We need to swim up. But this one was listed for €3,600. And let's see, do they show us the sides? Are they natural? Are they black? Looks like it's going to be ebony. That is an interesting pairing of colors. But you know what? From this photo, it actually looks like the top is going to be gloss. Our next was described as Candy Jade Green. Running theme this week, witch hat knobs thrown onto everything. But for a Gibson USA SG standard, that's pretty slick looking. I enjoy it. Gotta love the bat wing guard. No luck for a colored headstock logo, but it works, plays off the pick guard. But they continued over the whole green, but spared your back plate, and adorned it with a new DS-style serial number. It's kind of fun though, still being able to see the Made in USA stamp. It looks custom shop, but it's not. And we've got Milk Bottle Grover tuners. This one was offered for €1,900, and came with its original Gibson USA style case. And one for the lefties this week, they called it Raspberry Blast. Interesting name. It looks like it started life as one of those custom color fuchsia ones, but then they added a metallic purple border to it, put like a little bit of extra glitter flake within it. It appears to still be a satin finish, but I think in your varying lighting situations, you're going to start to see the silver sparkles shine through everywhere. Although I could be wrong on that. It might just be on the border after all, after looking at this new photo. But the headstock is once again naked, and they didn't do any additional coloring up here. They decided to do that on the back. So it's an open pore grain finish that's purple with the Moto backplates and then a really dark neck. But it was listed for €3,200. But that back actually looks pretty nice in these photos. And oh, okay, that actually works really well with the side edge, because you're just slightly breaking up the purple layers on the top and the back with your cream binding. I can certainly see how somebody could fall in love with that. But now let's talk about the Gibson demo shop. They had about a page and a half of new offerings, but here's what stood out to me. Started off with this AAA top. It's a very nice guitar, decent pinstripey top if that's what you're after. But I saved this one in my list because I saw a photo angle that we've never seen out of the demo shop. They must have hired somebody new to take these photos, and he's like, oh, we need to make sure they know about this ding. So good job, new guy, or good job somebody stepping up the game. This was a custom shop 57 Les Paul Jr. in the TV yellow finish. These are about $4,000-ish brand new, so to get it for $1,000 off, that's about right for one of these on the used market. And you can't always get the desirable TV yellow finish. But the reason why this one was there is you got some lacquer sink in the heel, as well as a whole bunch of finish checking, and maybe even a replaced nut. But then there was this SJ200 Custom. So we talked about the J45 Custom and we reviewed it, but I was looking at this thing and I was like, what is different about that? Yeah, of course we get the ebony finish, but then it hit me. It's the bridge. Normally on the SJ200, that's rosewood, I do believe. But they made the mustached bridge out of ebony, and that just transforms the entire look of this piece. That's pretty cool. And then you get your brass pins and your additional mother of pearl inserts. This one, I just thought it was a black Les Paul Custom, but apparently it's a purple Widow for $5,600. But to be fair, the blinding white background isn't doing this thing any justice. I'm sure it's not quite that dark, but that is the issue with purple Widows, is they do come out a little bit too dark on many of occasions. Sometimes you just have to get them in the sun to appreciate to their fullest extent. And other ones are just dark, regardless. I also had one of those super sparkly ES355s that they did in a limited batch run. Seems kind of expensive at $7,000, but I think they were, what, $9,000 new? Nope, only $82. This was definitely a review and demoable Seafoam Green Les Paul Modern. Fantastic top on that one. Looks like they changed the knobs. But they also get you on the back with a fantastic chunk of mahogany back there for the body. That is a cool one. And with the vintage style tuners, while still retaining the mother of pearl and ebony combo on the fretboard. Here was a really aged Pelham Blue Les Paul Custom. They just called it VOS, but they definitely have a lot of yellowing treatment to it. Man, I'm having a hard time believing that's just a regular baseline Les Paul Custom. It looks like a 57 or 68 reissue, because typically they don't do the tinted clear coats on the regulars. But yeah, sure enough, it's Nashville style bridge, so it is. I can see why that one has that many watchers. Then there was a hot pink sparkle gloss Flying V Custom, $6,000. Definitely a little bit of a premium, but if you like that hue, that will certainly stand out on stage. It's a lot of fun. As far as the 10K Carina Explorers go, I thought this one had very nice wood grain. It looks like it wants to tell you a story. You get a little bit of flame figuring over here. It's not boring in uniform is what I'm trying to say. That appears to be a two-piece body, but I like the eye on the back too, or a bullseye pattern. We had another one of the 80s White Explorers. Always like to check the serials on here, and this one is mid-2024. This is a Guitar Center exclusive finish, but this one, the wood grain just happened to catch that silver just right, and the combination of the white-black pickups, even though it doesn't match the silver, it pops it and just makes this thing look refreshingly different. The blacked out truss rod cover makes the Gibson and crown really stand out. Then from far away, the pickups stand out just like that. And then they put a Moto backplate on with gloss black finish. The standard 60s Honey Amber got all blacked out, except for the knobs, but I think they were trying to play off of the honey finish. Pretty unique top. It's got a lot going on for it. And the back is just natural. Then this one was listed about 2 weeks ago, but I think I missed it. They called it a Western Classic SJ200. These are $7,500 brand new, so $3,000 off. That's why it sold. So you've got a bound sound hole, 3-ply, and then you've got a rosette that's like that many layers. Looks like it might be 7. And then your tortoiseshell guard is also bound, which you don't see. And then your binding on the body also has like, would you call that a purfling layer? Like, how do they even do that? Do they have to route the top out with a pin router and then put that stuff in? Or is this just like an extra thick black layer of binding? And then we get another ebony bridge, throw on some more mother of pearl inserts. No, it's not an H string. Those are additional mother of pearl circles. And then your headstock is extra fun. Old-timey but clear. And the old style flower pot truss rod cover has binding, I guess you could say. It's just a really wide beveled edge. And we didn't even talk about the rosewood back and sides and figured maple neck. But alright, Troglodytes, I hope you enjoyed the recap. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll catch you tomorrow on the next one. Take care.